Hello, everybody. Welcome to study our course called Native Architecture. In this lesson 27, we will study how to bootstrapping a cluster with Kubernetes. So in this slide we can see we need to install Docker in advance and then install the kubelet and kubectl and kubeadm components. So we have launched three instances in the Amazon cloud, and one is master load, and the other two are as the workload. So here we can reference the Kubernetes official installation guide. So first we need to install the kubeadm. So we can here now before we begin, we need to prepare. We must pay attention to these items. So first we can say we compatible Linux hosts because we used our because we here because we have launched our instance in AWS and launched three EC2 instance, and their operating system is Ubuntu server, so it's in our compatible hosts, and need to the 2 GB or more RAM per machine. Okay, here, and we have launched the three hosts. We can here and with the memory space. Okay, yes, the 4 GB, and yes, they were, and their operating system is okay. We can see our OS is Ubuntu. Okay, and for network connectivity between all machines in the cluster, because all the instances are in the same security group. So we can see here, just click the master load and security. Yes, we can see here was the instance in the same security group. There's the LAN D. They permit wall traffic. So okay, so permit wall traffic. So there are 4 network connectivity between all the instances in the same security and the VPC, and the unique hostname MAC address. Okay, we can hear the host name. Okay, we just use the host name. Yes, we can hear this is the IP with the host name is the IP address. Okay, host name, yes, and we can see they have the unique MAC address. We can use IP link to show its MAC address. Okay, here, yes, this, and the IP link. Yes, here they are different, and the IP link. Okay, these three MAC addresses of the instance are totally different. Okay, certain ports are open on your machine because we can hear they are in all the security group, so we allow all the traffic. Okay, swap disabled, because we needed to. We can say use this free hyphen m. Okay, see, we can all the swap are disabled because the total value is 0, used 0, free 0. Okay, here we just check. Yes, this swap value is 0. Okay, now, and okay, now yes, we can change our host name to a meaningful, yes, to our mean to our meaning, yes, to our meaningful host name. Okay, we can use the host name ctl set host name. We can key its name key by master host name here. Okay, password. Hello. So first we need to change the Ubuntu sudo Ubuntu. Okay, enter the new and allow. So we now we can here change the host name. Yes, it shows that the authentication complete, and we relogin. Okay, here. Oh, sorry. Then this word we should change it. This is to the workload as a workload. So not the master load. So we need to use host name ctl set host name to keep it to worker worker 2. Yes, we host this worker 2 and input the okay, and okay, we host we this is this instance we choose it as the master load, so we use the host name ctl set host name keep it as master set host name. So we need to change the Ubuntu password, and then here okay, yes, authentication complete, and we also this here sudo. We also change the set the password for the Ubuntu host name. And we use the host name ctl to set its new sk8s hyphen worker 1. Okay, and input the. Okay, we log out and log in. Okay, here. Yes, we can. We have changed the hostname to K8s-master successfully. And okay, this is also successfully K8s worker 1 and this. Okay, and we can see its hostname. Yes, K8s worker 2. Okay, master worker 1 and worker 2. Okay, and now we need to letting IP tables see the bridged traffic. Okay, so we just can input this command in all the in all three loads. Okay, and this. Here. Okay, we letting IP table see bridged traffic. Okay, and we can see this guide. So here, and we need to set the SE Linux is permissive mode. So we can now to check its Linux. We need to install this. Okay. I can here see yes disabled. So we needn't. So we just copy this and input in the workload and to check its status. Okay, yes, Linux status is disabled in workload 1 and in workload 2. They are all disabled. Okay, now, okay. So we have finished all the specific environment setting to meet our requirements, such as the capacity of the CPU and the memory, and the network connectivity, and the hostname MAC addresses, and the certain ports and the swap disabled. So that's all. Thank you.